All right, guys, so this one is extremely exciting for me and also, well, it's bittersweet. I'll tell you that right now. It's super, super cool, and I want to keep this in my collection, but I can't. I bought this, I spent a lot of money on it, and I have to sell it to get the money back, unfortunately. But it is cool to get one back on camera. I did a video on this, I want to say back in 2008. Very special knife, but you saw the title, so there's no surprises here, is there? Now, first off, you see this is in a red box. Why? That's got to be a fake Benchmade. No. Well, if you haven't been around the knife scene long enough to remember, Benchmade had their red class line. Of course, now they have their black and blue and gold. But back in the day, they had a red class line with some interesting knives. So the model we're looking at here today is a 10100 LFK. Now, LFK, I believe it stood literally for large folding knife. So maybe not that creative with the name, but it is cool. So let's take a peek at this. All right, so it comes in a sheath. It is a large folding knife. All right, so let's take a look at this paperwork real quick here, right, just in case you haven't seen it. So welcome to Benchmade. It's got a little blurb there. You can read that and that and that. It looks like they're going over each class. Just to give a quick reference, red class, black class, blue class, gold class. So what does that really mean? Now the red class doesn't exist anymore. The red class was Benchmade's idea to start making knives overseas. It's like, we're the all-American company, people love us, but some people can't afford us. So let's make some cheaper knives, more affordable knives, you know, our awesome designs that we love, but let's make them in Taiwan, ship them back over here and sell them to people who have a tighter budget. I don't know why they ever got rid of it. I have no idea, but that's what the red class was. I have some awesome knives in red class, like the monochrome. I have a great story. I carried that across the US. I love that knife. Very affordable, very cool design. Then you had the black class, which was basically, you know, some of the automatics and stuff. It was kind of military, you know, themed, I suppose. The black class is all the stuff that like the military people were getting. The blue class was just that, blue collar dudes with, well, money to buy a Benchmade, obviously. But those are just their staple knives, was the blue class. And then the gold class was essentially blue class knives. Well, I suppose it could have been, well, definitely would have been not a red class knife, but you know, mostly blue class knives, but pimped out. Okay, so when you have a gold class version of a Benchmade, it's got more than likely a Damascus blade. It's got, like, you know, I don't know, all these just different materials to make it special. They're limited edition versions of their regular production knives. They make a few of them. They make them really expensive. A gold class bug out that I did a video on once. It's just a pimped out version of it. That's all. If you like a certain Benchmade and you want like the coolest version of it, well, it's gold class. But they fetch high dollar, like 700 plus. Some of them are over $1,000. Very expensive versions of their production knives, which are already kind of expensive for some people. So anyway, that's the paperwork and the box. Let's take a look at the knife. So this is the Benchmade LFK. Now, if you haven't seen this before, prepare yourself for this strangeness. I'm pulling it out. Seems pretty normal so far, but whoa, where's that blade going? Where is that blade going? There's a lot of blade there. So much blade, it doesn't even fit in the handle. So they had to make a little piece. It's like, someone messed up here. That blade's just too big for that handle. But of course, it's done on purpose. But here's the cool part. Check this out, ready? As you open the blade, that little piece follows. Whoop, whoop. And it goes into the handle. Look at that. So we have a massive blade, but a normal size handle. So it's super comfortable in hand. I know people are like, wow, I never saw this before. I know, it's so cool. I don't know why they got rid of it. They should make, I mean, a blue class version of this knife. I think it'd be very popular still. But anyway, that is the LFK. So it's a liner lock, it's big and chunky, and the mechanism rests inside the handle to accept that large blade because the blade is much larger than the handle itself. Now, of course, this is a pocket knife, so you have to have some kind of a guard to protect that sharp edge if you actually want to put it in the pocket. It does have a unique pocket clip that they've never replicated since they made this one. But because it's large, you can also carry it in the sheath on the belt if you wanted to, okay, horizontally or vertically. So it is a super, super cool knife, a super cool design. You can see in this case, the pocket clip is swappable. It's only tipped down, but it is swappable to left side or right side. But just a super cool design there with that piece. Just interesting. Now, they did make some Harley-Davidson versions of this knife. Now, when the red class hit, I remember this specifically because we went to a bare Harley-Davidson store because my dad wanted to buy his first Harley-Davidson. He waited his whole life, wanted a motorcycle, always loved motorcycles. Went to Bear in Honesdale, Pennsylvania. But yeah, Bear in Honesdale, we all went together as a family, and he bought his first motorcycle. He ended up getting a candy red 883 Sportster, and he loved that bike. Eventually he moved on, got another Sportster, he got a, what is it? I think he had a Shadow Spirit, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know much about motorcycles, but he loves his bikes. But yeah, so he ended up at Harley, and I was with him, and you know, waiting around because I mean, it was exciting. My dad's getting his bike; he's very excited about it, so I was happy for him. But I didn't really care about motorcycles that much, so I'm looking around, and they had a knife case there. They did. They had the official Harley-Davidson knife case, and they had some Benchmades in there, including this one. That's why I'm telling you the story. So there are versions of this, both satin blade or a black blade, and it would have the Harley-Davidson logo right there on the knife. Okay, so they obviously had a deal with Harley. They put these in their showrooms. Now back then, okay, you can see on the back here, this is a prototype from 2006. All right, so there's the markings for that. And on the bottom you can see made in Taiwan, and this is in 440C, which is behind that thumb stud. But back in 2006, they had a deal with Harley to put these in their showrooms and stuff, and this was like $200 at the time at Harley. Now that was inflated because I think, and don't quote me, this is a long time ago, but I want to say you could buy this at knife dealers back then for like 120, 140, something like that. So like to have a $200 price tag is like, come on, that's a lot of extra money just to have that Harley logo on there. But think about it, it's a cool design. You know, bikers buying bikes, doing what they do. They want a big, cool knife, and this was definitely one that fit the bill for a lot of those bikers. So let me know down in the comment section, did you ever buy a bike, go to Harley, pick up one of these LFKs? If you still have it, you are definitely in luck because people are scrambling to find these things. I can't tell you how many messages I've gotten about this knife over the years. Well, I can. It was less than 100. It's not like I'm getting messages every day about it, but I've probably had at least 50 plus messages. Okay, specifically, hey, I just learned about this cool old Benchmade called the LFK. Do you have one? Where can I get it? And I would always have to tell them, let me know. Let me know if you could find it somewhere, because I don't have it. I miss getting mine, and they are extremely hard to find. So in general, they're just hard to find, but the fact that I was able to find a prototype is just extra awesome. But I want to make this video just to show you the knife design, in case you never saw it, because a lot of people watching never saw it before. It is super cool. Look at this. All right. So you have a normal handle. You don't have this big beastly handle. Okay. So it can still be, ridden in the pocket. But you got this big old blade. How cool is that? All right. There's nothing like it out there. I mean, there are knives. There are folding knives, I should say, that the blades surpass the handle, but they have different mechanisms. I've never seen anyone that has a guard that literally moves in and out. So it could be tucked away. You don't have something just hanging out there, and I've never seen one that was able to be pocket carried, and that's what makes it so special, is because it does have that guard that comes out. You're able to carry it in the pocket, and what's kind of cool, if you're kind of quick with it, if you take this out of the pocket and open this up real quick without anyone really seeing it, and you show a knife person, because they might not recognize this guard right away. They might just do a double take, like, how's that blade fit in there? How's that work? So it's just kind of cool. You know me, I would love nothing more than to put this into my interesting mechanism knife collection. But this is a pretty penny, and I need my money back. So this one's going to be for sale. You guys can hit me up on Instagram if you're interested. But yeah, unfortunately, this was just to have a little reminiscing session and to be able to make this video to show people now what they've missed many years ago. So yeah, there's a lot of cool old models from a lot of different companies, not just Benchmade, and I don't know why they don't just bring stuff back. Once in a while you have a company that brings back an old favorite. Apparently at the time, these weren't all that popular. Not a lot of people bought them. That's why they got rid of them. That's how it all works, right? If they were super, super popular, they'd still be making them today. But it's one of those things where back then there might not have been that much interest, but now we have so many different new knife collectors and users and stuff. The market's very different. So I think a lot of these companies should really just bring back old models that were discontinued just to try them out again. Give them a second shot. I know this one would be quite popular. But anyway, that's it. So this one's very cool. being never used, in the box and everything. It's just, again, it makes it extra special. But if you ever get a chance to pick up an LFK, it's worth checking out. It is a very cool knife. Let me know down in the comment section below if you have ever had an LFK and what you think of it, and if you got rid of it, why? Well, it's a good question for me too. Yeah, just because, you know, at the time, didn't care that much. Been there, done that. I feel like that with so many knives. Yeah, it's awesome. You get it and you use it, and all right, been there, done that. What's next? But then you go down the road and you're like, maybe I should have kept that one. This is definitely on that list for me. I probably should have kept that one. So anyway, that is it for now. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take it easy.